Hi again, everyone, and welcome back to English for Pinoys. And this is your trainer, Eric. I hope everybody's doing fine. And this video is the first of a series that I'm going to be doing on commonly mispronounced words. And when I say commonly mispronounced words, these are words that are commonly mispronounced by us Filipinos. Well, many of us anyway. Okay, and this video is dealing particularly on what we call syllable stress, right? What is syllable stress? Well, let's look at some relevant terms first. Of course, the first relevant term is pronunciation. Well, ironically, the word pronunciation is actually mispronounced. Some people pronounce it as pronunciation, which is incorrect because it doesn't have an OU in the middle. You know, the verb is pronounce with an OU in the middle, but this one has a U. It's only a U, so you pronounce it as pronunciation. Okay, pronunciation. That's the noun, and the verb is pronounce. Okay, and what is pronunciation? Well, of course, you know what it is. It's the manner in which someone says a word or utters a word. It's the way a word or a language is usually or customarily spoken. The other relevant word here, of course, is syllable. Yeah, syllable is a unit of spoken language larger than a phoneme. All right, we have what we call monosyllabic words and polysyllabic words. When we say mono, it's just one. Okay, like book, like chair, like pen. These are all monosyllabic words because they only have one syllable. On the other hand, if you have more than one, two, three, or whatever, it's called a polysyllabic word. Okay, poly meaning many, right? Like table or interpretation or building, right? Even the word syllable is a polysyllabic word. The other relevant term is, of course, the name of the topic, which is syllable stress. What is syllable stress? When we say stress here, we're not talking about getting tired or being pressured or being exhausted. It's what we call the stressed syllable is what we call the accented syllables. Or these are the syllables that are higher in pitch, longer in duration, and usually a bit louder than unstressed or unaccented syllables. Okay, again, higher in pitch, longer in duration, and usually a bit louder. Just for example, the word syllable. Which syllable there is gets the highest pitch and the longest duration and the loudest? It's the first syllable, right? Syllable. Okay, you can't say syllable. That would be stress on the second, or syllable, right? That would be syllable stress on the third. You don't. You say syllable. So that's the first syllable that gets the stress. Okay. Now let's look at some specific examples of words that are commonly mispronounced, and I specifically chose these words because these are the words that a lot of us mispronounce, a lot of us Filipinos. Okay, the word ceremony. Okay, you see that stress mark there? So I'm using the apostrophe or something that looks like an apostrophe to serve as the sign for the stress mark. So the first syllable for that word actually gets the stress, but for us Filipinos, many of us anyway, we put the stress on the second, right? We've been hearing that word mispronounced ever since we were kids. You know, like the teacher would tell us, the flag ceremony will now start. Okay, it should be on the first syllable. It should be ceremony, right? So you say, we are going to attend the flag ceremony. So you notice the syllable stress is actually on the first syllable, not the second. So say goodbye to ceremony. You're going to say hello now, and of course start saying ceremony. Same with the second word here. It's category. Again, the stress is on the first syllable, not on the second. Again, a lot of us Filipinos put the stress on the second syllable. We would usually say category. That's incorrect. It should be category. Okay, say that. Category. So the stress is on the first syllable. Same with testimony. Again, commonly mispronounced by Pinoys. So we again put the stress on the second usually, but incorrectly we say testimony, where it should be when it should be testimony. So the stress should be on the first syllable. All right, so let's pronounce these words again. Ceremony, category, testimony. Very good. Let's have more examples. All right, this one is again a very common word: carbon dioxide. See where the stress is? It's we're talking about the second word here in the phrase, okay? Dioxide. So we would hear some Pinoys pronounce this as carbon dioxide. So they would put the stress on the first syllable of the second word. It should be on the second syllable. It's dioxide, okay? Di meaning two. So carbon dioxide. Another word, continuity. See where the stress is? It's on the, that's right, on the third syllable, continuity. However, a lot of us put the stress on the second. We would say continuity, right? Where it should be continuity. All right, another one, cumulative. So where's the stress there? The syllable stress is on the first, right? However, some of us would put that stress on the second. You would say cumulative. It should be cumulative. Okay, cumulative. So the stress is on the first syllable. More examples. Again, I specifically chose these words because these are the words that a lot of Pinoys actually mispronounce. All right, let's deal with this second set of words. The first one is documentary. See where the stress is? It's actually on the third, yeah, documentary. Documentary. Some of us would pronounce it as documentary, so we would put that on the fourth, right? We would put the stress on the fourth, which is not correct. It should be on the third. It's documentary. Say that. Documentary. Another very, of course, a very common word. We use this to illuminate our, rooms when it's dark at night. So it's fluorescent. Okay. Some of us would put the stress on the first. We would say fluorescent, like fluorescent lamp. It should be fluorescent. So where's the stress? It is on the second syllable. Here's another one, 4 feet. Okay, 4 feet. So the stress should be on where? The first syllable. It should be 4 feet, not for feet. Okay, so even if you have the noun form of that word, the stress will still be on the first syllable. Forfeiture. You don't say forfeiture, it's forfeiture. Okay, so the verb is 4 feet and the noun is still forfeiture, so the syllable stress is still on the first syllable. More examples. This should be guitarist, not guitarist. So we put the stress on the first, right? However, the instrument is guitar, right? Where's the stress for that word? It's on the second, guitar. So you just retain that stress, okay, when you're talking about the player of the instrument. So it should be guitarist, not guitarist. It's guitarist. Another commonly mispronounced word by Pinoys. This should be interference. See where the stress is? It is on the third syllable, right? Interference. Or you can drop the middle T there. Interference. However, some of us would put the stress on the second. You would say interference. It should be what? Interference. Another word, interpret. Okay, where's the stress? Second syllable. Okay, let's say these words again. Guitarist, interference, interpret. Very good. More words. Okay, another commonly mispronounced words by Pinoys. This should be inventory. The stress is on the first, not the second. Don't say inventory. That is incorrect. It should be inventory. Okay, stress on the first. Another example, interference. Okay, interference. Well, some of us would put again the stress where? On the second. We would say interference. It should be interference and then menu. Okay, not menu, but menu. For syllable stress on the first. Okay, let's say these words again. Inventory, interference, menu. Here's another one. This should be percentage. So stress on the second, not percentage, which is the first syllable. It should be on the second. Percentage. And then semester, not semester. Semester, second syllable again. And then substantiate. Again, it's on the second syllable. Okay? So let's say these words. Percentage, semester, and substantiate. More words. Tabernacle. Okay? So again, the syllable is on the first. Rather, the stress is on the first syllable. We've already had semester, on the previous slide, so let's remove that and then substantiate. Okay. Now determine. Okay. Not determine. That's really incorrect. The first syllable stress. No, it should be on the second syllable. Determine. So let's say these words again. Tabernacle. Determine. Okay. Now there's also a group of words that are commonly mispronounced because these words are either used as a noun or as a verb. Okay. For example, record, which is the noun, versus record. What did you notice? If it's a noun, the stress is on the first syllable. But if it's a verb, the stress is on the second. Okay? I'm talking about two-syllable words. Okay? So the noun is record, and then the verb is record. Okay? So sticking with that pattern, let's do the rest of the words here. Again, noun on the left, verb on the right. Okay? Again, if it's a noun, the syllable stress is on the first, but if it's a verb, the stress is on the second syllable. So let's do these words. Let's start from the top. Record, record. Subject, noun. Subject, verb. Object, noun. Object, verb. Address, noun. Address, verb. Increase, noun. Increase, verb. Decrease, noun. Decrease, verb. Permit, noun. Permit, verb. More examples. Update, noun. Update, verb. Invite, meaning short for invitation, noun. Invite, verb. Survey, that's a noun. Survey, verb. Rebel, noun. Rebel, verb. Protest, noun. Protest, verb. Contrast, noun. Contrast, verb. Okay, there are many other examples of this particular type of pronunciation, noun versus verb, but of course in the interest of time we won't be able to include all of those words anymore. Okay, if you have other examples in mind, feel free to post them in the comments section. Just remember, this is a general rule. Okay, this does not apply to all nouns and verbs. All right, but as a general rule, if it's a noun, the stress is on the first syllable, and if it's a verb, it is on the second syllable. Alright, so I hope you learned something from this video. Well, we're gonna have more videos on commonly mispronounced words, again, especially by us Pinoys. Make sure you stay tuned for that. I would appreciate a thumbs up if you found this video helpful, and of course subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Alright, so this is Eric, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.